Greetings and welcome. I am Powered by Love TV. Thank you for tuning in. This segment is going to be about the awakening. I want to just thank you, for your presence and for acknowledging the times that we're in and, just seeking a deeper understanding of what's happening. We are in this together, and, this goes without saying, much light and love to you all, and just know that effectual healers such as myself, I specialize in consciousness shifting, the awakening, the soul print alignment, DNA activation. I am a spiritual coach, as well as a healer, Reiki practitioner, a chakra balancing and alignments, as well as so many more modalities. You can see so much about me by going to www.iampoweredbylove.com. All my links in social media, if this message resonates with you and you want to follow me, all of that stuff is in links below. I am on Insta at I Am Powered by Love as well. And Facebook, that's a little bit more challenging. They won't let me change my name. So you'll have to click the links below to follow me there or find me on Instagram. So today we're going to be talking about the awakening energies. I'm not going to give any energy to the events that are happening, because the more magnanimous event is the fact that beautiful waves of love and awakening and shifting are happening as the dimensional living is being collapsed. So I want to talk about that, because we are actually in unprecedented times. And they're here. And although we've been through them historically, not just as mankind, but as the earth, as it has gone around the sun millions and millions and billions of time, we've seen the rise and fall of civilization's ability to hold consciousness. And we refer to this as the 3D. And those things are simultaneously collapsing. So systems that we have been used to and structures that we have been used to living with, and as we're seeing them begin to fall apart, actually they've begun falling apart long ago. And so we're looking at the way we live, and the universe has simultaneously, for most of us, brought about this change. And it's because we have been seeking and praying and asking, for relief and justice in the way we live financially, in the way, systems move and affect us, our political system, our justice system, our world system. These are systems that, sorry, getting all these messages. These systems, have ultimately failed humanity as a whole, and not just in the United States. We're talking about a collective knowledge of prayer seeking and energy, and so I'm going to be talking about the awakening process right now. And so in terms of how this came to be, I'm not going to go into a lot of detail. This is going to be just a short message. I'm going to be doing lots of these over time. So thank you for subscribing, and just know that there's so much more coming from me, and I'm so grateful that you're here. So we want to talk about shifting from one reality state to another, and this is happening extraordinarily rapidly, okay? And so there's a lot of confusion, there's a lot of fear, and there's a mixed message with this virus of fear. And so, we've been kept and locked into fear patterns for such a long time that it's become a way we live. We've just gotten used to it. We've been even slowly accepting it by saying, this is just the way it is. We have all these idioms that we say to make it acceptable to wake up every day. But we know that we're in misery because we live in a state of depression. We live in a state of anxiety. We live in these states of sadness. And then we, try to compensate how we feel with, a variety of different behaviors, whether it's just avoidance altogether, or busyness, what I call busy being and activities. We do that, and I'll break down these categories. Just keep following, and we'll be talking a lot about how this all played out. So the thing that's happening worldwide is inducing a panic, and this false imprisonment, this isolation, serves dualistically to do a couple of things. One is to spend some time with self, with the soul. Begin the healing journey of eradicating these issues, these concerns, these things that you've been dealing with and not wanting to deal with. And so we've put them aside. We've put them on the back burner. We don't have time for that. We're busy trying to forget the problems that we have. And now we've got a bigger problem because of our avoidance to deal with self and to heal the self and allow soul healing to happen, to allow the soul come forward, the higher self, the true self, the place where we can harness joy, peace, tranquility, and ultimately love. And above, we've come to see that all that we've been asking for in these systems that have, not provided us any safety, security, or any hope that things would ever get better, here they are falling apart. So on a soul level, some of these shifts are happening for DNA activation. And so that the soul can prevail now, this higher self that we've been talking about, this process. And I wrote down some notes because I've been channeling for months now, so I have some notes to keep on topic. So sorry if it seems like I'm looking somewhere else. We've allowed this process to happen, but we still need upgrades. And this also is for the light workers out there, the star seeds, the wanderers, the map makers, the crystal grid creators, those who are working, in energy work, and have been healing themselves. This is also for us as well, myself included, to, activate more ascension energy and hold more love and non-judgment, that unconditional love, to bring that energy more fluidly down. We're experiencing more frequent downloads. Other gifts and abilities are being activated, and we are being asked to, as light workers and healers and the such like, to now collapse even our beliefs in system and structures, even our self-servingness of, seeking subscriberships and, followers and building brands and, collecting these masses, star seeds and light workers and, map makers and crystal grid workers, and wanderers and, those who are awakening. We're supposed to be coming together as a collective to share this wisdom and knowledge and teachings and healings abundantly to those who are confused right now and are lost and are even more shocked. You're in a state of shock right now because the same systems that you've been saying, the justice system doesn't work. The wrong people are being imprisoned. We need to fight this. We never see relief from that. The financial system, those that are barons and that 1%, here, even just in America, just imagine the world, how the rest of the world, some of the world is still under communist regimes. And so, here we've been saying we're not seeing the financial, break free where everyone is on an equal level. That's falling apart. The justice system is falling apart. The legal system is falling apart. The entertainment system is going to be falling apart. And how communications and media are distributed to us. All of these systems that we know are not working are falling apart, but yet we find ourselves in a state of shock that they're being taken away. It's because it's the structure that we're used to, and we've begun to accept it, and we've just begun to pacify that this is just the way it is. There's nothing that the little man, the common man, can do. Well, now here the universe has begun to also lock them down. So in this and bringing forward light workers, we have to come together. We have to come together. We cannot do this alone. Not everyone has the same gifts and abilities. I myself, I have quite a few abilities, and I'm grateful for that. Mine is specifically about this time period. I've been activating people and moving people forward in consciousness for a long time. So this part is exactly what I was born to do, why I'm here. And I teach people how to use these tools to create conscious awakening and awareness, and shift out of the old programming that is in your subconscious for a very, very long time. So I'm going to continue here. I don't want to get off topic. So that self-serving faction of us, mine, me, the lower self, that ego-driven stuff has still got to go, even in the light workers. And so that's what we're dealing with right now. Right now, we're comfortably floating, hoping that the situation will level out, plateau in some way, and we'll be relieved and everything will just go back to normal. But normal isn't what was working in the first place, right? If we were creating and manifesting everything that we really believed that we desired, and all of our things that we believe we deserve and our dreams, we wouldn't be here today. So now is the time of a period for us to reevaluate not only our purpose, but our visions, our dreams, what's inside our heart, and help lift humanity as a whole. So this individual isolation is about also a giant expansion, not just for the light workers, but for everyone at home. We're all at home. Everyone around the world is at home. So these same systems are being destroyed, and we're also here now to heal these mindsets, releasing the things in the subconscious that are just no longer working for us. These deep embedded programs that of collective fear, despair, worry, depression, anxiety. These are also the very same tools that are being used against us. And I know that everyone's seeking information right now and an understanding, but what we need to understand the most is what we think about is what we bring about. I'll give you a prime example. I was speaking with a client, and she said, I've had several people knocking on my door saying, these different things, trying to get entrance into my home, and that's never happened. And I've worked from home for years, and we were talking about COVID and the fear, and I said, so your deepest fear about getting sick and being harmed, you're rapidly manifesting. And I'm going to explain to you, not the law of manifestation right now, because that's also how I shift people, is using universal law in my coaching program. But what you think about, you bring about. This is real, because right now we're in 0 point energy. So our thoughts are rapidly being manifested, and the more we talk about it, the more we engage in it, and the more that we fear it and we worry about tomorrow, we're creating the epicenter of more of exposure to it growing and it becoming larger and greater. We are actually we're participating in the manifestation. So I want you to grab a hold of this concept. Everything you think about, you've brought about. Everything in your life's reality is a conscious creation, whether subconscious or consciousness. And when we work and avoid our subconscious thoughts and beliefs, then we don't know how these creations and manifestations came to be, because we're not aware on even a small level what we really believe about ourselves, about life, and what we hold to be true. And so it's time to realize that these systems are being destroyed and they're being brought down for all of mankind, all of humanity. These that have been keeping secrets, hidden agendas, have been manipulating, misdirection, but they're using the cohesiveness of our energy and our thoughts to continue or try to hold on to some form of control. That's how they've always operated. That's how they will try to continue to operate. And you being a free person, really free. I'm going to talk about freedom, because awakeness is freedom, but I'm going to tell you that awakeness, as you can see it happening around you, your reality, your knowledge, you're starting to see that, the world in a different way. I know that's how it was when I awakened. over almost, 20 years ago. So it can be scary. It feels like everything that you knew to be true is ending. But it's a part of a phase of growing up, and that's just where we are. But the things that we need to spend time on now, those nuances of things, and recognize that we knew inside our heart this world, the way it was running, was actually killing us. We struggle to get out of bed. We struggle to connect with even our spouses, the people that we love and have relationships. Our families are falling apart worldwide. Our children are on drugs. We have problems that we just did not want to deal with, and we have a system that could give a crap about it. They never cared. Honestly. We have to be honest now. Honest communication and healing is what's necessary in love. This is coming through love and light. Our religious systems haven't helped us change the world in love and light and peace. They have failed us. And because we're not taught another way, and so many of us have been told to fear, workers and people like me. We've sat in our depression and our sadness. We've sat in our anxiety. We take countless prescriptions. We drink, we smoke, we do all these things to avoid the darkest part of our feelings. And it's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking. We get up every day, we do the same thing over and over again. So the clients that I have deeply want to change their lives and become powerful manifestors with universal wisdoms and knowledge by letting go of the crap. That's where we're at. This is what awakening means. Letting go of the bull, of the crap, of the things that are keeping you from being your best self. And when this happens, when you are ready, because the time is already here, you just have to make up your mind. Are you ready to shift? Because the consciousness, actually the realms of which the 3D, the 4D, and the 5D, they're happening right now. The experience of the waves are coming. And so the so-called time period of lockdown, the so-called isolation, this false quarantine is set upon all of mankind, the greater commonwealth of all earth dwellers, so that we can spend time in self and soul. We're not to keep getting lost in vapid entertainments that are not serving the healing process of awakening. And as you begin to recognize that your thinking has changed, your feelings has changed, you may be experiencing some erratic changes and movements in your thoughts, your energies. It's disruptive because it's new. I sought mine. Deeply so. I was deeply unhappy. I was making $250,000 at the time, at a flourishing business. Not that this one isn't, but I was miserable when my awakening happened. And I actually was reading the Bible at the time that it happened. And the first thing that I said to me is, why didn't anyone tell me that all this crap, my whole life, I created it? And why doesn't anyone seem to know how to undo it? So I became the master of helping people shift from their old life, their old ways, their old perceptions, their old patterns, their old beliefs, into creating new lives for themselves. And this is where we are. This is what awakening means. We're here to empower, not just self, looking out for self. We've looked out for self for so long that we've grown intolerant We've become distant. Social distancing isn't new. Standing 6 feet apart from one another. We're so far apart from one another in engagement, true, real communication and connectivity, even honesty. People can't even be honest about what they're feeling and going through. Suicide rates, let me tell you something. Suicide and cancers and car crashes alone have killed more people than COVID has killed. Fear is being used as a necessary tool. And when you release all fear, you can replace that with joy, with peace, with hope, with happiness, and ultimately with love. And the higher vibrations that you are able to hold, not only will you begin to shift, but you'll be able to shift at the counterpoint in another person, which is why we have to heal. The reality templates that have been governing our lives, these systems, once again, I'm going to go back here, are already been dismantled. They have already been dismantled. So this false illusion of fear, this hold, only helps them hold the organizations and keep their plan moving forward. So we can spend time now looking at the dichotomy of the situation, the dualistic of the system structures that have ultimately, and the infrastructures that are in place, they have failed us. And I know, again, that all of this might be confusing, and I may be repeating myself, but I'm going to go, I feel like they're showing me this again as I wrote some notes. The collective of the mankind must be willing to stop living in fear-based beliefs and begin holding and begin holding new space. We've got to let go of anxiety, depression, jealousies, bitterness, competition. All of these things, this self-driven need to do this alone. We're not alone. COVID has showed us that we're not alone. We asked for some solidarity, and now we have the opportunity to come together. But we can only really come together if we're willing to even forgive ourselves, to love ourselves, to be as love within. So this consciousness shift is taking place in 3 waves. And we are already at 0 point energy. So I want to urge you to understand that your thoughts are going to be manifesting at lightning speed more than ever before. Because we have 3 different grids happening at the same time as the higher grid is meant to take its place here. And you've probably seen a lot about 5D and what does this mean? And you don't even have to know what it means today. Today is the day that we begin the healing process. Because the better we can heal and love one another and bring in unconditional love, forgiveness, wholeness, be able to welcome in and become tolerant of our fellow man. All the earth dwellers here are now under the same feelings of isolation. Fear that everything that we knew to be true, that we held as values and understanding of how things worked, have shifted. So we're like children. I have a 6-year-old, and when she was a baby, she learned, how to roll over. And then she learned how to crawl. And then she learned how to walk. And then she learned how to run. Then she learned how to swing and slide. Then she learned ABCs. And all these systems were rapidly changing in her life, right? That's where we are today. That's what awakening kind of is like. And even though we're adults and we know all these things about life, all the things that we knew about life are done now. We're being asked to create it and to create a world together that we love. But how do we know what we love when we barely even love ourselves? We don't even know who we really are. We don't. We got to be honest now. When I ask people at the very beginning of my coaching program these 3 powerful questions, it's devastating to them to ask those 3 questions because they don't know the answers. So I promise you, we don't know who we are. We question why we're here. What is the purpose? What's the meaning of life? For you to create it, but we haven't created nothing. We've accepted systems and just went along with it because we were told this is the way it is. It isn't. We create it, and we now can create it together in love, in hope, in peace, in solidarity, in tolerance. All these isms of the reasons why we don't like people. This color, this culture, that culture, gay, straight, all this crap does not matter. We're all on the planet. COVID has no prejudice at all. What does it matter now? What does it matter now? What matters is you. You matter. We matter. Your soul wants to come forward. You are already being activated. You cannot stop it. You will become restless, angry, agitated. Some of you will feel euphoric and joy, but we still need to clean that subconscious out. It's got crap in there. Just like your cell phone has apps and all this data usage and it's driving your battery usage, draining you dry. That's what's happening. We got to get to the place where we can all be on the same playing field. And I want to be a part of your process. And we can get there together with all of us, with me, with each other. We matter. Our life here on earth, it matters. It matters. And what we do with it right now, we can't worry about tomorrow. We need to start creating this life right now. Right now. It's so vital and so important for you to understand this awakening is already occurring. The next wave starts in July. The third wave starts in November. We'll see some impacts around August. We're going to see some impacts and flare-ups happen in December. Follow me because I'll be talking about the impact and the implications of the retrogrades as they move forward. You can find them on my retrograde reaction on my website. I've been talking about this for a long time, and I'm very versed in this, and I want to be part of your healing process. I will be doing workshops and so much more on how to shift, how to heal, how to pull those things out. Are you ready to become a powerful manifester? Are you ready to shift your life into high gear? Are you ready to create from your dreams, from your truth, from love, from your heart? If you're ready to take those leaps, I used to do readings and oracles and Akashic record readings and tarot readings. I was told to stop doing that, which is why when I started here on YouTube, I started with readings and they just said, don't do anymore. I'm here as an effectual coach, and together we're going to slay the subconscious, and we're going to bring everything forward, and then we're going to recreate your story. Then we're going to find out what you want to create in your life. Who you are here to be. What is your purpose on this planet? We're going to align chakras. We're going to activate your DNA. We're going to get you to your soul purpose. And then we're going to start manifesting abundance in your life rapidly. Ask any of my clients. They'll tell you. And we can do this together. And there's nothing wrong with tarot readers. I'm still one. So I want to thank you for tuning in. I want to thank you for showing up for yourself. I want to thank you for inviting your soul to the game of life that you still yet don't know the rules to. And we're playing on the game of life on the Monopoly board, but we really don't know the rules. We really don't understand how this all is working together. And so here we are. We're all here now. Let's take the journey together. Let's do it. And I want to thank you for tuning in. And please check out the prayer box. It is so important and so vital. I spend a lot of time with nonprofits. I'm on the board of a nonprofit. Please donate as we help women and children of domestic violence and other situations that don't have places to live and place for their families right now. Your donations are needed. You know, you'll see links on there for donate to me. Scratch all that. There's people that need us now. So if you're watching this and you're inspired to do so, click that link. And if you're inspired to follow me on YouTube, please do so. If you're inspired to follow me on any other platform, please follow me. Please also follow me at Universal Abundance. You'll see my link down there. This is my gift to you. I want you to go to the link for Universal Abundance. You know, this is a time when we all need resources. And I can tell you that Universal Abundance is not only going to have so many practitioners there sharing their gifts, their talents and abilities, but they're also, what they're doing is for every member, it's a paid member site, kind of like Patreon, just it works different. You'll have access to hundreds of people instead of just one for your payment. But what happens is not only do you pay and join, but you get paid. So when your revenue is, sticky because the world is changing around us, this is a link that I want you to check out. Look at my links below. Universal Abundance. Look for the prayer box. Your donations matter. We matter. We matter. So check below. Check those out. Universal Abundance, the prayer box. And stay tuned. Follow me. Be doing all kinds of workshops and healings. Live from other workshops that I'm doing. You'll find those workshops also in Universal Abundance. I'll be dropping vids here and, just quick hits so you can see the highlights of what's happening there. But, we can only do this together. We can't do it alone. We've tried that. We've tried that program. We've tried that infrastructure. It's me and no one else. I got to look out for me. 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 Yeah, we do this together now. All of humanity. There's only one of us here. We got one voice. And we do that with unconditional love now. Thank you, my friends. I'll see you next time. There's a part 2 to this awakening. There's some more information. These are just the highlights. Thank you and namaste. Thank you. I love you so much. Stay tuned. Stay informed. Love, like, and share. Let's stay connected now more than ever. I love you.